Good morning. Buenos dias con todo. Viewers, listeners, the DXVP na radyo estasyon tagiya na buwan direksyon y con aquellos que mira DXVP FB page and ISIS Jumbo FB page. Good morning. Regular got no, alas 8 el misa, and then directly ano tayo nakip hasta alas 9, kaya alas 9 yung mga notisya by Sir Book, no? And then misa, mediodía si Father Mash, no? We're making sure DXBP DXBP ay queda on estasyon que puede ayuda na disseminación de información, buena noticia, especialmente mga tiempo de pandemia, no? We are making sure that our modalities, no? That's why education on air, ISIS in focus, el programa kasi we are making sure na siyempre edukasyon, no? Na radyo. Although los demás un poco lang ta-appreciate, especialmente na AM, we are really hoping and making sure kung ayer sinaganit ang pregunta to the audience or listener del DXBP or any AM station, no sabi no taas pa man, but amo galing sa gente lang siyempre sa tan matter, no, si uwi ba sila or mira ba sila, but what is very important, we are trying to be consistent, no, hinay-hinay, and we are asking your help to facilitate us, no, in our endeavors, no, na diamond cosa taase para bien del diaton todo. So may you be able to assist us, no, como continue kami diskuti, no, mga topics, concerns related to many things, no, about education, about spirituality, about community, about social responsibilities, no, psychological and emotional mga concerns, no, in this pandemic, and anything that is worthwhile enough for us to appreciate, no, in the whole context of educating ourselves and including the children. So desde ayer, no, conecta iyo el discussion about forgiveness to reconciliation, a process, no, as a manner wherein we try to get into total self-awareness of our feelings and the feelings of others, and talyamagan empathy, no. Empathy builds on self-awareness, no. Empathy builds on self-awareness. Now, ahora pwede kita continue diskuti on how empathy unfolds, no. Emotional intelligence, no, I believe breaks down into how or a proseso gani from forgiveness to reconciliation. So maybe that's on the spiritual, no, context, but integrated or collaboratively with this emotional process, no, maybe the very question, no, how empathy unfolds. Pakilaya ba? The moment Hope, just as a name, no, just 9 months old, saw another baby fall, tears welled up in her own eyes, and she crawled off to be comforted by her mother, as though it were she who had been hurt. And 15-month-old Michael went to get his own teddy bear for his crying friend Paul. When Paul kept crying, Michael retrieved Paul's security blanket for him. Both these small acts of sympathy and caring were observed by mothers trained to record such incidents of empathy in action. The result of the study suggests that the roots of empathy can be traced to infancy. Por eso hindi kita pwede ibita sin Sunday ablayo akal the child within, the healing of the inner child. Is simply because the roots of empathy can be traced to infancy. Virtually from the day they are born, infants are upset when they hear another infant cry, a response some see as the earliest precursor of empathy. Developmental psychologists have found that infants feel sympathetic distress even before they fully realize that they exist apart from other people. Even a few months after birth, infants react to a disturbance in those around them as though it were their own, crying when they see another child's tears. By 1 year or so, they start to realize the misery is not their own but someone else, though they still seem confused over what to do about it. In research by Martin Hoffman at New York University, for example, a 1-year-old brought his own mother over to comfort a crying friend, ignoring the friend's mother who was also in the room. This confusion is seen too when 1-year-olds imitate the distress of someone else, possibly to better comprehend what they are feeling. For example, if another baby hurts her fingers, a 1-year-old might put her own fingers in her mouth to see if she hurts too. On seeing his mother cry, one baby wiped his own eyes, though they had no tears. So such motor mimicry, as it is called, is the original technical sense of the word empathy, as it was first used in the 1920s by E.B. Titchener, an American psychologist. This sense is slightly different from its original introduction into English from Greek emphatia, feeling into, a term used initially by theoreticians of aesthetics for the ability to perceive the subjective, el cosa, el persona habla, subjective experience of another person. Titchener's theory was that empathy stems from a sort of physical imitation of the distress of another, which then evokes the same feelings in oneself. He sought a word that would be distinct from sympathy, which can be felt for the general plight of another, with no sharing whatever of what that other person is feeling. So, tiyan yung poco diferensya between empathy and sympathy. No, el word na motor mimicry. Motor mimicry, el persona, el bata. No, motor means el actions, ojos, boca, anything related to the person's na capacities or experiences. Motor mimicry fades from toddlers' repertoire at around 2.5 years, at which point they realize that someone else's pain is different from their own and are better able to comfort them. A typical incident from a mother's diary is an example, but hindi na kita gali. At this point in their development, toddlers begin to diverge from one another in their overall sensitivity to other people's emotional upsets, with some. A series of studies by Miriam Rock Yarrow and Caroline Zahn Waxler at the National Institute of Mental Health showed that A large part of this difference in empathic concern had to do how parents discipline their children. So, tagya ha, klaro-klaro ya. No, we are trying to focus, no, uh, towards education, no. Empathic concern had to do with how parents discipline their children. Children, they found, were more empathic when the discipline included calling strong attention to the distress their misbehavior caused by someone else. Look how sad you made her feel, instead of that was naughty. They found too that children's empathy is also shaped by seeing how others react when someone else is distressed. By imitating what they see, children develop a repertoire of empathic response, especially in helping other people who are distressed. So, aki no, we're more empathic with how parents discipline their children. So, aki kita man focus, no, brothers and sisters, mga audience, no, how parents discipline their children, how mimic, or how motor mimicry equals to original sense of the word empathy, no? How we discipline. How you discipline. Por eso kami akan mga examples sa dali akin na eskwela and how I miss those children sa lawayon, no? Paalta atensyon, no? Hyperactive. But when you discipline them, calling their attention, keep quiet, take your seat, no, open your notebook, basic expression of discipline. Kasi children need to be facilitated into how should they behave in classroom, around, no, in the classroom setting, in the campus. Maybe that's my comprehension, no? Children were able to really acknowledge between healthy food and unhealthy food. Kaya por causa gani, calling strong attention to the distress, no? Every time I say, okay, you see how people eat too much sugar. You see people, no, eat too much fats, no? High blood, no? Talaga example, no? And on the other side, no, you look people who keep on exercising, no, eating healthy foods, no, eating together, no, eating by themselves, no, working. So, exposing them, no, to different activities. So somehow, el discipline del bata ta increase, and somehow si man emphasize pa kita about how el epekto di ila ko sa taas ta pwede asa alegria. Like kasi ganit tali po yung mga bata, tali ba kami mga bata for the outreach, no, andan sa Con Esperanza outreach program del ISIS, no. I am hoping, and we are really hoping na to inspire the children that, no, kosa sila tabuta, mga ballpen, lapis, papel, na tarikuyo, later on, na misa, and offertory, dila slippers, school supplies, and some, taliba kanila para mandamira kung kintadali, no, mga bata, de arriba or de isla, no, may kosa, and then, alegria del mga bata, mira kanila, so, akailangan they would be able to see, no, and feel. Amo ga say as an educational institution, empathy, no, as a Catholic institution, how we are inspiring children, boys and girls, to appreciate, to become not only professionals, but appreciating spiritual nourishment, no, empathy to get into the very own self, no? For eso, emotional intelligence, no? A person who blessed so much with so intelligence, but humble enough, no, and simple enough to acknowledge and share the talents and and blessings kay Chene, no? Kasi tayo Mira na bright nga pero no hay respeto, no? Pata atensyon. Grabe kayo at bien hambugero, hambugera. So doon umalin Mira. No hay disiplina, no hay respeto na tatay nana ng mga lolo, lola, no? Or even na teacher kasi nga Tachenia takede grande sila, tachenia sila wisyo, ya pwede sila Mira kay ben stricto si teacher, hindi na kasi kaso, pero naulbida gani sila kay ang disiplina gani kanila. No other way. No, I would always argue with children. Kaya gani mio sobrino, no? Kaya gani na there was a time, akal jutay pala. I want Coke. Oh, I want Coke. Nila mo yung attention. I said, no, you're still a kid. Drink lots of water, juice, no soft drinks. No soft drinks. Gayot, rabyo ko tayo eh. Si bunda ka mesa. Para lang sa ka-attention. To emphasize na I'm doing this in the school. I will do it also, especially to my nieces and nephews. I would really like to command authority when it comes to telling them what's true, what's good, and bad. So, dispensa lang ngayon. No? Maybe others would seem it to very demanding or dictating or akal rabyaw, but in the sincerest and truest sense na I'm trying to help and let these children see. Por eso na on the other side, cosa ba epekto del bata si Mira Kimira lang le na YouTube. No? Very passive. No? Unable to speak. So motor mimicry Mira lang. But if you inject more of emotions when you talk, when you allow them, no? Pero so gani na let them practice. Okay, si manda man YouTube, pero akal tan challenge ko na bata ang kwento. No? To do something more productive. So empathy. You get into the very being of the person na tan challenge. No? Don't say akal talkative sa mga bata. No. But rather, talk. Nang chini on the puede anda visita al bata tang kwento pero hindi ta entende. Kapag habla lang el auntie ba kaya? Father, eto yagat mang problema ko na sa bata. Kasi bien talkative. So I paid attention. Ma'am, she's not talkative. Dyslexia. I do not understand what she is talking about. So she's too exposed in YouTube, no? Yes, Father. Mga slangs lang, pa English, pero ending gali, no? Motor mimicry, hindi magali amo. So this is where we come in, no? How parents discipline their children. It's very important, no? They must be shaped according to, and then all of a sudden, reklamaya lang kita, ay, English speaking ni bata, pero no sabi, baho lang man sinareading. No, hindi tayo may sina. And mga bata na no carry Filipino kasi nga sobra speaking English yet sila na taul bilagan sila na Filipino, we are Filipinos na nisita kita aprende di ato native language Filipino, even na Chabacano. So there's nothing wrong, no? Pero so disiplina kita, no? Korekta. Mga cosa de korekta si tan mix Taglish, Bisaya, English, or Tagalog, English, korekta kita. Kasi nga, di aton pagka-person, the traditions, no? And in terms of discipline, is very uniquely Filipinos. And perde hinay-hinay because of too much exposure to social media, too much exposure to gadgets and internet, forgetting about, no? Getting into the sense of disciplining our children na mga bata gani na tamirayo, no? They would always say, Father will get mad. Yes, I will get mad if you will not be disciplined. So I believe we have not failed to remind you. But that's why at home, parents, it's a great challenge to really get into the very life of the children. So at the end of the class, during night time, it's not only about work, class, assignment, performance task, but begin to talk. The discipline. Anak, stop it. Talk muna tayo. Mga sina ba? Expose them to a certain degree of relationship wherein, no? Albata, Mami, Daddy, sabi sa school, bawal daw uminom. No? Yung beer or yung wine, not good daw sa heart. Bakit kayo umiinom? Sigarilyo, bawal nga. Bakit kayo naninigarilyo? Too much soft drinks, diabetes. Kosa lang contest lang mga sige lang. Okay lang ba? Problema mo ba? Pera ko to, no? Mandahan ba? Sige lang, wala man si Father, wala man kayo sa school. So, what are you teaching these children? So, confuse ang mga bata kung kinkre na teacher, kung father, or kung parents. So, kasi palandaan, motor mimicry, no? It's registering, no? Pabira-bira ba? Cosa bueno, para bien. So, in this pandemic, no, we realized, last night we were sharing, mga padre, we were telling na, maybe yan expose kita ng mga COVID-19. Simply because lang strong kita, no? Kompleto vitamins, kompleto comida, no? Healthy lifestyle, but buenamente puede comer. Unlike those who are not able to take care of their immune system, maybe that's one thing na taapekta kanila. So maybe this is one way to really get into the very heart of, focusing, no? So today, I hope I was able to help you reflect and explore, discuss further, take time to talk with your children. So this is part of the discipline, you parents, guardians, discipline with the Siman Garden, di ba mga bata? Hindi lang na mga barkada. Hindi, di ba ka na mga bata? Insinya kanila pakilaya siyempre. Or even pakilaya prepara. What I observed in the past years, mandila niyo wala mga bata, di ba aki? Di ba aki paso, kabarelaman, mapiedra? Pakilaya ka Chrissy. How would you expect Chrissy as siyempre ala? Mapiedra-piedra? My goodness. So akil palang daan, no? Cosa lang pensa albata, rabia pa kayo na Chrissy as siyempre. Hindi ka til Chrissy. Okay? Arena, graba baga yapone na si teacher tamen kahit kay prokaso ben mucho na mapone attention. So it goes back na este mga tiempo. I hope this is an opportunity na we teach our children, no, that part of the discipline. Tama na discipline in learning, no? Los demás na mas gani man naman enroll na private school kasi nga karo daw cover igual naman daw module, but the discipline to really learn even though they are at home, teacher comes in the whole picture. So I'm very sad na napaka na prinsipya, hindi man te perfecto on online modalities, but we were really hoping na proactive parents mira na learning process kita asa kita, no? Este gane virtual class, no? A synchronous class. So I'm really hoping na this would enlighten. I hope na I can enlighten more parents. It's never too late. Pwede pa siyempre man-enroll. No? Pwede siyempre man-enroll. Kasi nga, there should be a continuity of learning. So this is part of the discipline. The discipline we're in, I hope na we be proactive enough to address kay cosa yuta podimira, others have surrendered, no, in terms. And this is empathy. We, as an educational institution, is getting into the motor mimicry, meaning the children's desire to learn so much. Oh, ang TikTok ka ng mga bata, maski ma-insinyal tatay na bayla, because they mimic. And all the margaha, el pasensya, el virtues, values, kita manifesta kita alin na casa. So, estos mga bata ay, in simple term, kopya, hace también. No? And I believe this is what Saint Ignatius, when he read Imitation of Christ, no, the whole being, no, the persona, imitating what Christ did. This is a great challenge for all of us. A great challenge for all of us to really endeavor. So tomorrow, cosa kita ase in connection to the roots of empathy, no, how empathy unfolds. Mañana, discuss kita the well-attuned child. So this is in connection, no, education on air. I say simple. We focus on the very child. Kasi na we cannot fill up a bucket if it is full already, na full of anxiety, stress, and too much confusion. So hindi kita pwede. So that's why we will share more about the well-attuned child, if and when the parents are able to have the comprehension about how it is, how empathy unfolds, the self-awareness unfolds, and how to develop that self-awareness in the very child. And this is what we call aptitude, moral aptitude, of the children. So good morning con todo. Thank you for your attendance, attention, taking your time, masking busy man, even just for the sake of appreciating. So upload just na YouTube, so like and share my YouTube account here also, and we become proclaimers. No motor mimicry, meaning as if dedo, man type, man like and share, subscribe na YouTube, the ISIS, the DXBP, Erfra Di Mio, no, Father Elmer Sumile, to really propagate. And this is one way to appreciate more what technology can help us grow and learn much about life and education. So, buenos dias, good morning con todo. God bless you all. In Christ, through Mary, knowledge, power, and love for all. Good morning con todo.